Um, Now, as for the assorted Christians, well, two, um, Fiona and Gman, um, the Roman Catholic Church fell into schism and heresy um, at 1054. I mean, firmly. The Papal West, or the Latin West, also known as the Papal West, had heresies circulating around in it, but it didn't put the official stamp on it and try to lord over everybody um, and really actually officially saying now we are actually this is the bishop of the world. This is not only first among equals, first in honor, first in love, but this is the head bishop of bishops, the bishop of bishops. It actually adopted pagan titles that Tertullian, when he he mocked the Pope. I want to see Victor, calling him Bishop of Bishops and Pontifex Maximus, a title that was for um, the emperor who was officially the head of all the official cults of Rome. And they tried to, lord over the eastern seas of Constantinople, Antioch, um, Jerusalem, and Alexandria, and say, you have to listen to us. And by the way, uh, just through what happened in Spain in trying to refute Arianism, we injected Neoplatonism and actually changed the Trinity. Even though they didn't understand it that way, essentially that's what they did. And the only thing, the saving grace of the majority or of the West is that they don't understand um, the symbol of faith uh, in the way that it actually is meant to be. They misunderstand it, but correctly. So it's you could say it's language, but eh. As for Fiona, you are always called to defend your faith. Your faith is not for Roman Catholic. Your faith isn't Protestantism. It's not Eastern Orthodoxy. It's not. I mean, I don't know where you draw the line at what is a Christian, what is not. I'm assuming you do not believe that Mormons and Jehovah's Witnesses are Christians, or Moonies are Christians. Or the Jim Jones People's Temple, or the Branch Davidians were Christians. But you say the basic tenets of faith are uh, God made flesh, um, Jesus died um, for the forgiveness of the world. I may be paraphrasing here. Uh, and that he rose from the dead. I mean, that doesn't, you, I guess you're trying to affirm the hypostatic union in the first one, but there's also the basis of the Trinity that's dogmatic. The catechism is important, and this is the Catholic faith. I mean, I think all historic churches say that this is the Catholic faith, even the Lutherans and the Anglicans, and they'll expound it. But we must defend the one true church. Now, I am Antiochian, Syriac Antiochian. Um, of the Eastern Sea, now displaced in Damascus. That's under heavy threat and is the most persecuted of all peoples right now. It's in Syria. Our people are being massacred, and the entirety of the world is silent on it. I must declare that this is the one, if I'm going to be a Christian, because the whether it's just by profession, just by association, not even in my internal beliefs, but just to say such things, I've declared that there is only one Holy and Catholic Apostolic Church. There's only one church. There's only one church without schism and without division. And as Gman said, Christ is the head of that church. Now, I believe you were trying to say some people who are officially Roman Catholics have done bad things, or I don't have to defend silly arguments. It's true that you don't have to respond to barking dogs or an insane man standing in the middle of the street covered in jello telling you that he's going to blow up the world as he wields a plastic knife because he's just crazy. But then you're defending not just not being silent, but you're defending not defending. And you're trying to be extra neutral with the declared enemies, with those who are anathema, the cursed, the cut off. Which I can see why you'd want to do that in the presence of a Protestant who doesn't recognize the Roman Catholic Church as Christian. It's Christian, but it's heretical. You don't think it's heretical, but obviously me and Gman and Gambler believe it's heretical. I believe it's heretical and schismatic, but that most of the mystically true church, which the other sheep, many of them are in the Roman Catholic Church, and they have received the true baptism in the Eucharist. That being said, the perversions that are going on today, the latest Pope, and, well, everything after Vatican II, Benedict is tolerable. Benedict, actually, we were happy with when we first got in. But this recent guy, Francis, what the hell? But I don't expect you don't, again, you can remain silent on that. Or you can actually be critical of Francis, because the Catholic Church is a strange. The Western churches are odd to me. But that's the last you'll hear me saying that, because I also believe the Roman Catholics are an oppressed group in the United States and basically around the world as well. So it can be seen as anti-Hispanic, anti-Mestizo, anti-Latino, anti-Irish, and white supremacist to attack the Roman Catholics and the papacy. I do racially recognize as a Roman Catholic, but also as a Sunni Muslim. That's how crazy my ancestry is. A Roman Catholic because of the struggles in Ireland and El Salvador, and the Cristero War in Mexico. But G-Man, you do say, it does good. If it just does this good, then it's good. But I think you would agree with Dillahunty that it's poison to the core. All right? That it's, I don't know when you put the point that the papal church broke from the one true Catholic Church. If you put that at, hopefully you're not ridiculous enough to say, oh, at the end of the writing of the last gospel, and the church fell into apostasy. If you're a restorationist, I don't see how you can be a Christian. But if you're a Baptist or a Lutheran or something, or Presbyterian or Calvinist, you believe that there was always a remnant, and that finally things got so bad that the remnant had to rebel in the Protestant Reformation, and maybe even most of those churches weren't right, and the remnant kept on going until whatever review associated with began. Or maybe you believe that there's so many groups that the church is a non-visible, just anybody who truly believes in their heart that doesn't reflect anything that Paul says or anything in the New Testament or anything in history. And I don't think you believe that. I think you actually do have. I'm assuming that you do. But that's the thing, is that we can't defend being apathetic about our faith. I don't see it. That's defensible. I'm not trying to pick on Fiona here. Again, I know you're talking to a very reactionary Protestant, right? And Gman, I like your passion for your faith. But he is right in that, yet the Trinity, the hypostatic union, things like that. But G-Man, she was saying the basic tenets, the most base, the least of the tenets, the most distilled. What is the most basic thing? If I say the basic thing of this is this, it doesn't mean that it's all of it, or those are the only doctrines or dogmas. Peace to you. And Gambler, I would say that the works, me and you both know that the works are, well, I already said that in the beginning, and that, or following what God commands, are those things, and the works are actually the gifts of God, and that actually will change you against we do what we don't want to do, and what we hate, and what we want to do, we don't, as Paul said. Take it easy. Peace to both of you, all of you.